Anything else you would like to add to that before we move forward?
Not a thing.
All right, next news piece. We got franchise movie news. What? Star Wars isn't just television? We got movie news. Disney revealed their upcoming movie slate for their major tentpole films. And of course, in that slate, they revealed the Star Wars releases. In those Star Wars releases, we've got the following 3 dates. Obviously, Rogue One is the one that's coming first. We know the most about that film. We got a December 22nd, 2023 release date for Rogue Squadron. That's the first one. Second one, we've got a December 19th, 2025 untitled Star Wars release. We'll talk in a minute who I think could be involved with that film. The third one is December 17th, 2027, and is yet again another untitled Star Wars film. So let me pause there. How do we feel about the 2-year gap between all of those films?
Not an issue for me.
Good.
The prequel trilogy and the original trilogy had 3-year gaps between them. I honestly wish that the sequel trilogy and all those other films had more gaps in there as well for just, flushing out all those nitty-gritty details, make it all work as best it can. So 2-year, no problem with me. 2 years, I can wait 2 years. That's fine.
Well, and don't forget too that in those 2 years, I guarantee you they're going to have Disney Plus content coming out as well. So we will still feel very much like we're getting that yearly Star Wars content. So I just second that take. So I think we can kind of skip over the next question because I think we answered it. Is getting only 3 Star Wars films in 6 years a bummer? For me, it's not, because like we just mentioned, we're getting some Disney Plus content in between, expectedly at least. Now, my next question gets to kind of that idea that I teased. In my opinion, I think the 2025 film is going to be Taika Waititi's directed film. And I think the 2027 film is going to be the Kevin Feige produced, because we haven't gotten confirmation on anything else except that Rian Johnson trilogy that I don't know if we'll ever see happen, if I'm being completely honest.
No.
So those are the 2 people that I think are involved with those untitled films. Would you agree with that take?
I think Taika's is 2025, and I think Feige's is 2027.
Okay.
I also would just like to add, because you brought it up, they're too scared to say anything about that Rian Johnson trilogy, because the second they do, the internet's going to explode, and it's so much safer just to say nothing. It just, it's like that old phrase your mom used to tell you, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I think that's kind of what Lucasfilm is doing with the Rian Johnson thing. But we're not talking about Ryan Johnson.
I mean, we
could.
could.
We could. Oh, I could talk about Rian Johnson. Not that I have just this terrible opinion of the guy, but because I don't. But at the same time, we're talking about Taika. We're talking about Feige. Taika's coming 2025. I think Feige's is 2027. If that's not the case, Feige's producing Taika's. And then this other one's just kind of out there.
And I did think that initially, but I think we've gotten confirmation now from Feige that he hasn't even started working on his film yet.
That's right.
But Taika has voiced that I'm in the writing process and all of these different things. So with that in mind, I do think they will be separate. Now, don't forget there's also like that it never got confirmed. J.D. Dillard directed like Exegol type kind of film that was out there. I don't think that's it though. I don't think that's going to be one of those releases. Final question though that I have for this: are these films going to be connected in any way? And I'm just going to go ahead and put my answer in. Other than them being in the Star Wars galaxy, I don't think there's any story threads connecting these 3 films. Would you agree or do you disagree?
I was like a 50% agree, disagree.
Okay.
Does that count? Is that a thing?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with it. I would like to see them connected. I think, with these are 3 movies set 2 years apart. That's kind of what the sequel trilogy did.
Sure.
Technically, it was technically 2 years apart. I think Lucasfilm had too much on their plate at the time, but that's a different topic for a different day. I would like to see them connected, but for now, I'm going to go with they're connected. Why not? We don't know, so let's just go with they're connected.
I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
but I was
you're
just
fine.
going to say, I think you said you want them to be connected.
I do.
I don't.
I do want them to be connected.
I don't want them connected.
But why don't
and
you?
here's why. Only because I know that Taika Waititi creates like these crazy films, and I want it to be its complete own thing. Like I don't want, because
That's
again,
fair.
as soon as Taika Waititi makes his crazy film, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that doesn't connect with." If it connects to Rogue Squadron, they're gonna say, "Oh, it doesn't connect with Patty Jenkins's Rogue Squadron," and we're back in that Ryan Johnson mess. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I
but
want them like
they're-
just these own kind of stories. Dive
Right.
into make it feel like a big galaxy, because it is a big galaxy.
That's true.
And use this as an opportunity to do something different. Don't make a trilogy. Do something just completely something that we've never seen before. That's what really excites me, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with the take,
Mhm.
but just for the sake of my argument there, I would go with saying I want them to be connected for a lot of different reasons. I think it'd just be fun to have a connection, some more. Like, it doesn't have to be all connected to like Rey or Luke or Anakin. It can be a connective thing out there somewhere else. And bear in mind, this is what I was going to say a second ago. But bear in mind that Taika has worked with other directors with Mandalorian,
True.
and we also have to bear in mind he's worked with Marvel, and he's working with Marvel currently.
Mhm.
So we have to keep in mind that this is a guy who knows how to not step on other people's toes.
Good point. That's a very
And
good point.
So I think that he would be great. I think it'd be great to have a connective thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm right and that's
Sure,
it,
sure,
because that's
yeah.
not at all what it is.
Right.
I'm just saying I want to see the connected. I think it's very possible that they could be connected.
Okay,
And
so
if it
I think
doesn't work out
maybe
that way,
when
that's fine.
I think maybe when I hear the word connected in the Star Wars galaxy is just automatic trilogy. But in the case of what you're presenting as far as like Taika Waititi's connection with Marvel, I mean, it could be, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is connected to the first Avengers, and you just don't know it, really. I mean, it's all in the same universe, and yet here we are, and now they feel connected in some way. So
Yeah.
I think that's very capable and very possible. I think for me, as soon as I just hear connected in the Star Wars franchise, I just think trilogy. And maybe I just don't want to see a trilogy format, but it would be cool to see the connections between the films across, whatever storyline they decide to
Sure.
go with.
And Royal Farm Boy's hanging out with us still, and he gives us a very sobering reminder. It's not
That's
about
true.
what we want.
Yeah.
He says, just tell us a Star Wars story. And
Fair
you're right.
enough.
You're right, sir. You're very right. But at the same time, I want it my way. I'm just gonna be a little child here for a second. I want it my way. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. And here's the thing, I'm not gonna be all butthurt whenever it doesn't go my way. I'll get over it. I'm a big boy. I
Sure.
got my big boy britches on. And for those of you who don't know what britches are, that's pants in Texan. Okay. I've my trousers, Blue Harvest bricks. I can live with it. It's fine. It's no big deal. But you're right, sir. Very correct. No issue there.
Right. Agree. And I agree with that take. Okay.